right, guys.
Welcome to Normalest Chicago Residents.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
It is currently April
28th.
28th. I knew that.
In case you were curious.
In case you were wondering exactly what's going on here.
We're doing like an ASMR thing right now.
All right. So
it's just Claire and Bengi here, guys.
This week's movie is Django Unchained.
Mm-hmm. Benji
Director.
brought this movie.
Yeah, I did.
He's the host of this episode.
I am the host.
Mm-hmm.
Just Claire and Bengi today.
It's just Claire and Benji today.
It's a Claire and Bengi day. All right. The director of this movie is going to.
No, whoa,
wait.
slow down. We haven't even done our little discussion.
I know,
what
but
have you
I
been watching?
just wanted to do the thing.
I know you're excited about the movie.
I know. Okay.
But let's slow down.
Okay.
What have you been watching? I haven't seen you in a while. What have you been watching?
I watched this movie like 4 times.
I know.
Like in the last 2 days.
It's like 3 hours too. How?
I know. I'm terrible.
Oh
I'm
my
terrible.
God.
I love this movie. I've been watching a lot of The West Wing lately too. And the other day in class, I made a joke.
Oh, Benji.
They were doing. We were in playwriting class, and this kid, he was like, what did everyone think about the ending? And like the ending of his play.
Of this movie?
No. It was a play that he wrote. In
Oh,
class.
right. Okay.
I'm going somewhere with this, I promise. And he was doing this play or whatever, and it's kind of implied that this girl jumped off a roof.
Oh.
And right as like her boyfriend who had just broken up with her was leaving the building that they were in. And it just reminded me, because I've been watching The West Wing, and Martin Sheen is in The West Wing. Martin Sheen's also in The Departed. And I don't know if you've seen The Departed.
I have seen The Departed.
But you know that part where they throw him off the roof,
Yeah.
and he splats right in front of Leonardo DiCaprio?
God.
I was like, did you have in mind that exact scene? And he was like, no. And I was like, just like, you know when Martin Sheen just goes, and...
That was a good sound effect.
Yeah, I know. I just couldn't get that image out of my head.
Yeah, I see why.
And
I should rewatch that movie. But it's kind of one of those movies where it's never going to hit the same as it does the first time because of all the twists and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But I think at this point, it's been long enough that I could watch again.
I still find it fun. It's just a
It's
great
still
movie.
fun.
Just Jack Nicholson is just like such a ride to go through. Every time he comes in, like he'll just come out. There's that part in that movie where he just comes out blood all over his shirt for no fucking reason. He's like,
okay, kid.
I'm done. Okay. I like that movie.
Yeah. And Django was fun like that too. I love that Western style.
Have you seen it before?
No, this is my first time.
Cool. I've seen it a couple times.
Yeah. How
Like
many?
7. I think this is like the 4th time I put it on my letterbox.
I get that. I mean, it's it has kind of a happy ending, kind of.
Pretty happy ending. And you know what? Something else that I really like about this movie is that it's not like a white savior movie.
Yeah,
like,
some people...
The main character is Django. It's not Schultz.
Yeah, and I think if they hadn't killed... spoiler alert, guys. As usual. If they hadn't killed Schultz, then I would have more beef with this movie. And I was reading a lot online, and some people were like, yeah, at the beginning half, it was kind of white saviory, but I think it's so that they could critique that idea, and then, in the second half, it was totally not. And, like, it's more that, like, the slavery and the time period was more of like the background. Like this story I feel like could have existed outside of slavery, which is why I think it's a good movie.
But I think that the movie does deconstruct slavery and the Southern antebellum like themes.
Oh,
of that
definitely.
Time. And I will talk about that later. But let's did you watch anything?
I've actually been watching quite a lot recently. I've been kind of on my movie grind. I have to open my letterbox because I can never remember. Oh my god, wait. Yeah, I've been seeing quite a lot of fucking movies recently. When was the last time I was even here? I don't remember. I've been going to a lot of screenings recently through our school. I saw that new movie Quasi. It was shit.
What's it about?
It's like a comedy retelling of Quasimodo. It's like the dudes who made Super Troopers. They were there.
Oh shit, really?
They were right there.
So was it funny?
It was okay. I laughed a couple times.
Was it like Venom funny?
No.
No.
It was like white guy funny. So you'd probably like it.
Shut up.
It was okay.
Okay.
I gave it a strong 2.5.
All right.
Then I saw Sisu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. That's that new
the one by the Keanu Reeves director, Chad Stolinsky.
No.
I thought it was. It said from the makers.
Director?
It said the makers of John Wick, right?
Girl, where?
Oh,
I don't see
I
him
saw
in
a
the
trailer
crew.
for it. I thought.
It's directed by Jalmari Helander or something.
Okay, maybe it's just like the same company.
Okay, maybe. Anyway.
Anyway.
That was fun. I don't think it was like the strongest movie ever, but I think it's worth watching. I think you'd probably like it. There's really good action and like if you're in the mood for like a gory kind of. It was actually really fun, and it's like, you know, dude killing Nazis. So what's not fun about that?
Yeah, it's always a pretty easy movie to do.
Yeah, yeah. It's not revolutionary, but
No.
it was fun and it's directed well.
That's good.
And I had a good time. And I also saw Beau is Afraid in theaters. Oh my God, so
Really
worth
good?
the money. Really good.
Okay.
I've seen really large range of reviews.
I have
Some
to.
people hated it.
Ariel Esther's like that. You
Yeah.
either like him or you don't.
And it's like, it really had me second guessing, but I think this movie's kind of great. You just have to, I just love when somebody does something fucking different.
Yeah.
And tells a simple story through a absolutely unsimple plot. I think that's kind of fun. Okay, like it's just about mommy issues.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Mama.
Girl, oh, it's bad. You have to watch this movie. We should do a whole episode on it actually because we should.
Okay, well, I'll watch it. I'll try to watch it in theaters.
Keep incoming. Guys, Beau is Afraid is incoming at some point.
All right.
Guaranteed.
Is that all for...
Oh, girl, no.
Oh, you're not
I've been watching a lot. I watched Scream. I've rewatched Us. I've been kind of a horror mood, horror comedy. I watched new movie Polite Society. That was really fun. Really great.
I've been seeing that movie a lot lately.
Super fun. Really great directing, fantastic music. The costuming is fucking gorgeous. Do I think it's like revolutionary? I don't know. Maybe. I really liked it.
Like it was. Someone said it was Tarantino combined with John Wick.
Yeah, that was sick as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it fills. I think it's great. I think it fills a gap that needed to be filled. Don't read into that phrasing. Then I watched Zombieland yesterday, and Django Unchained.
Nice.
God.
Your letterbox is a little wild.
It's a little wild right now, as usual.
Yeah.
Zombieland.
Listen, that's a movie.
It's so good.
That's
It's so good. It's so good. When was the last time you watched that?
Like a year ago.
Oh. You don't like it?
I'm a stone.
You don't like it?
I like
Bill Murray's in that movie.
I know he is in that movie. I like I forget his name right now. The guy
Woody
Lex
Harrelson?
Luthor. Lex Luthor, you know.
Girl, who?
The guy.
I know who Lex Luthor is, but who?
The guy who plays.
I don't know.
The guy at Social Network, fucking.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
I
love
oh my
Jesse
God,
Eisenberg.
he's fantastic. I don't care that he plays the same character every time because he does it damn well.
He's always like, well, actually.
And he always gets the girls, so explain that, liberals.
Yeah, explain that.
Emma Stone with eyeliner is here to play.
Yeah.
What have you been watching, Benji?
I already told you.
That's it?
Yeah. I mean, like, I literally
just
been
Django Unchained over and over?
And The West Wing.
And The West Wing?
I've been watching, like, I literally, it's a problem. Like, yeah.
It's okay. I'm watching Succession and Barry every Sunday as they premiere, and Lord, it's taking a lot out of me, guys.
Yeah.
I'm really scared. I've been seeing some behind-the-scenes shots. I'm very nervous.
For Barry or Succession?
Both. Just very nervous.
I like it.
I could go on and on about that, but I have to cut myself off.
I gotta watch Barry too.
Oh my God, please. Benji, you suck. I try to make you watch it and then you never watch it.
I know.
Again.
Here's the thing. And here's the funny thing about The West Wing. I was trying to watch Barry, and then I saw The West Wing, and I was like, Aaron Sorkin is my man.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, Barry is literally best show of the fucking century.
I'll look at it.
I'm telling you, it's my favorite show.
I was also watching Lucky Hank.
Yeah. Yo, is it good?
It's
okay.
The first episode was fine.
I don't have super high expectations.
It wasn't Breaking Bad.
Like, I mean, duh. Well, you can't compare it to that, though.
No, because it's the same writer.
Yeah.
It's the same executive producer, so I am going to compare it. I mean, like...
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
I know it's not the same thing, but, like, I kind of was like, okay, this is funny, this is good, but what's the point?
Exactly.
Like, that's where I was like, where is this going? That's what I want to know, because with Breaking Bad, Like it hits.
I'm sure there's gonna be
it
something.
hits the road running.
Oh yeah.
Like you are just fucking in it.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't want to get sidetracked on Breaking Bad because I know what this episode's about.
That
but
will happen very easily.
But that will happen very easily.
Me too. Don't worry.
Because when I talk about shit that Bob Odenkirk's in, I just lose my mind.
Maybe we can have a Bob Odenkirk special. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have a Bob Odenkirk special.
Wait, I saw he was gonna be in some show. Season 2 of. Fuck. He's joining the Bear. That's what I saw.
That's what it was.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
In case you forgot, we live in Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm fucking excited.
Normalest.
I'm excited.
Normalest Bob Odenkirk.
Normalest Bob Odenkirk residents.
Yeah.
Update. We should do a Bear episode when the new season drops.
Yeah.
How about that?
Or like if we go and see Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah, that too.
Okay. All right. So let's
I think we jump right back into
dive
Django.
into Django. All right.
Who's
so
in this movie, Benji?
This movie is directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Mm-hmm.
It stars Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Samuel L. Jackson, as well as Kerry Washington.
Mm-hmm. I wish she had more.
Yes.
That's.
This movie almost starred Will Smith, but it didn't.
I saw that.
Yeah.
He said too violent.
No, he said he wanted it to be a romance story, and it just wasn't. It's a revenge story, and that is. I think it's a better movie as a revenge story.
I think so too because there is romance.
Yeah.
Like it's just I actually am relieved because every fucking movie I feel like it's about a dude wanting his girl, and I liked a little twist on that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like this movie. What do you think about this movie? I give this movie 5 stars.
Oh, we're dropping ratings right away.
I mean, we can. Because we're just gonna talk about this thing.
I believe I gave this movie 4.5 stars.
Fair.
Because I couldn't I put it 4 and then I was like, I can't justify that.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I have very mixed feelings about Quentin Tarantino, but do I have a fun time watching those movies? Yeah. But, what I will say, especially, we all know Quentin Tarantino is known for his gore and violence, and people hate that. I don't really give a fuck, but in this case, I feel like it would have been a stronger movie if he toned it down because it gets to the border of like, and I've seen some people saying this too, and I was like, yeah, I see that. Little bit voyeuristic. I didn't need to see a slave get ripped apart by dogs. What did that add? They don't really show you like. Well, they do back and they do flashes of it when he's thinking. Dr. Schultz is thinking about it. Yeah. I think it's walking a very. The line is a little fuzzy between just his normal, but it's also he does it in all his other movies too, so that makes me feel a little bit better. And also in that scenario when King Schultz is thinking about that, King Schultz. You have to remember that right after that he kills Colin Candy. So that it kind of makes sense because it's. And I want to say this because it goes along with the theme I'm going to talk about later about deconstructing slavery and the Southern antebellum culture. Mm-hmm. But there's a reason why Bach is playing during that. Why he asks him to stop. Well, Beethoven. Yeah, Beethoven. Why he asks him to stop playing Beethoven. And it's like I don't want to open that present yet, but like there's I want to get into that in a little bit. But I want to hear what you didn't like at first because I really don't like there's nothing I don't really like about this movie. There's not a lot I don't like, and also like just as a white person, how much can I really like understand? Like I want to understand my own limitations, but obviously, of course, I can still watch the movie and I still have opinions about it. Mm-hmm. I do think and also I think if he had just not held the shots so long on like their bodies, and I get that it had narrative purpose, but I just feel like it towed the line into voyeurism, and it just didn't need to happen that much. That's really my only problem is like it just didn't need to be all that over and over. Okay. Like it removed the actual topic of the movie for me a little bit, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't need to see Jamie Foxx's digging balls, although I'm not complaining. Yeah. Listen. Listen. I think that was a prosthetic, but yeah. Yeah, probably. But not that it matters. Damn. More important things, guys. But I find myself not able to take Walter Goggins' character like serious. Like he's just like
he's a bad guy in every Quentin Tarantino movie, but he's always funny for some reason to me. Like I just cannot take him. I cannot take him seriously. He's the guy who's about to cut Django's balls off.
Oh yeah.
I can just not take him seriously.
Yeah, his fucking something about his eyes.
Yeah.
He looks too modern. You know those memes that's like he looks like he knows what an iPhone is.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Like no, he looks like
makes him a little.
He looks like he'd be saying the N-word like now.
Yeah, that ass.
No offense, Walter Goggins, but like.
No offense, but also you did sign up for this movie to say it.
He did sign up for this movie.
Yeah, I did see some joke that was, or not really a joke even. It was like, some movie review on Letterboxd of somebody I follow. I don't know, but they were like, I do feel like every white person in this movie who signed up to say the N-word should have refused, but also. You know.
Well, I think most of them signed up to be in a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
I think that's why they signed up.
Yeah, trigger warning. We're not going to be saying the N-word, obviously.
Yeah, no, obviously.
But we will be discussing it because they use it a lot in the movie,
mm-hmm.
and it's a very interesting discussion that I don't want to insert myself too much. I don't think either of us should insert ourselves too much, but it's important to talk about. Especially when white actors are using it, and it's written by a white person.
Yeah. Then again, what were you saying about? I know you don't want to get too deep into this, but what were you saying about the purpose, like the amount that it was used, and why it doesn't matter about the accuracy of like what they actually said at the time?
Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna pretend like I know. I definitely can do, and probably will do more research into the historical accuracy of this movie. Mostly, this is basing off of what I've seen. Almost even positive reviews that I've seen for this movie were like, yeah, it's not historically accurate. But I'd have more beef with that if the purpose of the movie was like accurate. To be accurate.
But it wasn't.
It wasn't. So it's like it wasn't supposed to be this biographical historical tale.
Because it's interesting that you say that, because the same point was made when Inglourious Basterds came out, which I know you also, I think you like, right?
I do like that.
And
that movie's crazy.
It's the same thing where people were like, oh, I find this not to be historically accurate. I think it's a little offensive because of that reason. I'm like, well, with Quentin Tarantino, what he does, when he did this when people were criticizing him for Inglourious Basterds, was he said, I focus on the character. And now I start with setting, like France in World War II, and then I just kind of let the characters by the midpoint take over the story. And it's not that this would have happened if I was in charge of history. This is what would have happened if my characters were real people.
Oh no, I know.
Because he writes. I don't know if you've seen any of his screenplays or the extended versions of those, but he'll write biographies like for his characters. And now we don't always see those, but sometimes they're private, but he writes them, and that's what convinced Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio to do Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, was those biographies of his characters. And it's just it's a very different way to interpret a character. Very like literal, like this character has a backstory. These are my characters. So when he uses them like that, you can kind of suspend your sense of disbelief because it's his characters. It's not our world. It's a world that he's created with his characters, and they're influencing the course of actions in the world we live in. Yeah,
and listen, like you're right, and like I agree. However, he also still did write it. He didn't get taken over by the spirit of his character to say the N-word. And he also put himself in. See, it really gets into like the frequency of it, a little sus, okay? That's all I have to say. Why are you, and also the fact that he puts himself in. Oh my god, I saw this fucking meme where it's like that one, I forget which movie it is, but where so the character has to take a shot off of this woman's leg down her foot. And he wrote himself as that character. And I'm like, it's the same kind of thing. Why'd you put yourself in the movie? I can't remember if his character said the N-word, but obviously he said offensive stuff. It's just a little goofy.
I get the goofiness of it. A lot of the times, though, it's because he usually like has a character or an actor that he wants to have be played by someone else, and then it falls through.
Okay.
I know that happened in Pulp Fiction. He was supposed to have someone else play it, but they couldn't make it to set or something like that. I saw an interview with him about that, and he ended up playing that character. or I think one of his casting directors said that he should play that character.
Whether
or not that's good advice,
I
I don't know. I think that role is now iconic because that he did play that character.
The accent was funny.
But this movie, it was kind of silly.
It was silly.
But he also he does this commonly. Like he did this with one of the other characters in that scene, the head guy of the LeQuint-Dickey Mining Corporation.
Yeah.
He played Esteban in Kill Bill 2 when it was supposed to be someone else. Mm-hmm. But he also played the sheriff earlier in Kill Bill 2. Or Kill Bill 1, I forget which one. I think it was the same one. But he wasn't supposed to play it, but the actor didn't show up to the reading, and I think it was Michael Parks read the lines for Esteban with an accent, and he did it so well that Quentin Tarantino decided to put him in the movie as Esteban instead of this other guy. So he commonly does that. Yeah,
it's a really interesting conversation.
It is an interesting conversation. It has a lot of nuance. There's a lot of complex factors,
but also sometimes I think it can be simplified.
Yeah, there can be a simple answer. Sometimes.
We don't know if he wrote this part for himself or his other parts where he says the N-word and shit like that. Quentin Tarantino, or he's sucking women's feet. The dog's out. That's his own personal business that's that he's made very public. So that's why. Listen, they use the N-word a fuck ton in that movie.
They do use it a lot.
Did they need to use it that much? I truly don't know.
But it also serves the purpose of not making you feel bad when they kill them.
Exactly. Like, that's why that's why I rated this movie so highly. Like, it's kind of fun. I like seeing racists be killed.
Yeah. It does what Indiana Jones did to Nazis. Mm-hmm. It makes them a joke.
It's just Sisu.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, see, then that gets a little dangerous, too, because you don't want to make the whole topic a joke, because it's very much real.
And they do take it seriously.
Yeah.
And you see that when they enter Mississippi, and when they detail the separation of slaves from their families. Uh-huh. They take that seriously. There's no joking about
I don't think they don't, but it's a fine line.
There's a fine line, but when you're when you're killing something or slavers, you don't really it's who cares if they're being made fun of?
Of course.
They're not making fun of the topic, they're making fun of the people who practice it.
Yeah. That's why I think when it does that, it's at its strongest.
Yeah. And I think that this movie, what did you say about the violence? You think it's a little too gratuitous?
A little bit.
I think that I think with that, it's just, I think Quentin Tarantino's kind of appealing to the old westerns. And have you ever seen a Clint Eastwood western? Mm-hmm. When people get shot, there's not really blood.
Yeah.
They just kind of fall
Quentin Tarantino
over.
does that artistic. That's kind of fun. I like that artistic
Quentin Tarantino
flair.
Likes the blood covering the walls.
Oh my god, I thought that was great.
I like that.
I thought that was great.
It's not. I don't even know if hilarious is the right word, but it is absurd and it's so much fun.
Yeah, the freaking entire house blowing up. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
And I actually really did love those shots specifically because especially I watched the end of it today. I was focusing those blood drips down the walls. It made me think of Nope from Jordan Peele where the shot of the outside of the whole house is fucking covered in blood. Mm-hmm. Really cool look. Directing wise, how this movie looked, fucking gorgeous.
Awesome.
Gorgeous.
Panavision. Big film.
I liked the fun zoom-ins. It was not too crazy, but added a little bit of flair.
Those are references to westerns.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are, because back then in the westerns, I don't know if Sam Peckinpah did it. Sam Peckinpah did it a little bit, but there were other people who did it even more. And but when someone gets shot, you have the wide shot and then they zoom in real close on someone getting shot. That thing
it's great.
Is a very western
I'm so glad he did that.
It was so nice. I love when he did that. And especially when he did that with the innkeeper when they go into the first town, Daughtry, Texas. And he's the innkeeper that the thing hits him on the back of the head. I don't think that was intentional, but that made that scene so much funnier.
I wish. Of course, some movies are very open about what's improv and what's not, but I always love to know. It always makes it that much better when I find out something is improv. But of course, I don't know. But it's fucking great, yeah. I thought that was great. Yeah, the whole Western style I think was perfect for this movie. Otherwise, I think it would have been really depressing, and then I would have had a lot more to say about the historical inaccuracies because of the way the movie's portrayed.
But they always twist it.
Exactly.
Like, they twisted the Western genre, they twist the romance genre,
Exactly.
they twist the revenge genre.
It's
Quentin
great.
Tarantino never does the same thing twice, which is like, but he does the same things.
He
just doesn't
has
do
a
the
very
same
distinct style.
movie. He has the same style, doesn't do the same movies.
Yeah.
But he likes to use certain types of characters over and over again.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I did love twisting the Western. I think that was a very good genre to have for this movie. Because, of course, he could have done it without the Western style. Even in, like, the South, you know, it just has such a... I know I keep repeating myself, but it has such a distinct little flair that I thought was so fun. That took it to the next level.
Yeah.
Soundtrack.
I heard you had some queries.
But you enlightened me on some things. My first thoughts were half the soundtrack I was super into, and half, it's not that I disliked it, but I was like, how does this fit in the movie at all? But then, like, for example, I was getting really scared when I see who I presume to be Quentin Tarantino putting, like, rap music over his black characters in a Western. I was like, okay, what's going on here? But Benji informed me of some things that have changed my opinion. Would you like to share?
Yeah, so during this movie, Jamie Lee Fox, who's also a musical recording artist, he's done stuff with Kanye and other people. He recorded a lot of the stuff with him and several other artists. All recorded their own original music for this. And that Black Coffins, 100 Black Coffins, that one. Yeah. I think that one was... I mean, you can hear his voice in it. I'm pretty sure, 99% sure that was him. And I remember having it being explained to me while I was watching something about that. But yeah, he very different for Quentin Tarantino. He doesn't usually record his own soundtracks with characters like that. He likes to use music from his childhood. But in that one, he definitely did blend a lot more with his actors.
Super interesting blend.
Honestly, and it fits. I think it fits because it's the actors who are involved in it. Yeah, that definitely totally changes my opinion on it. I still don't know if it still kind of takes me out of the movie a little bit. Like, I understand that. That's perfectly fine. I understand. But you know, maybe if I rewatch it, with that context, I would see it differently. And honestly, I do like being surprised, okay? I like being surprised by Quentin Tarantino, because I feel like he doesn't surprise me that often anymore. And maybe that's being challenged, and I think that's fun. I also think it comes at a right time in the movie, because up until that point, the music's all been very, like, folky. Ooh, true. And, like, very older. Not Django. And this one, now Django is starting to take over in the story more and more, and now you're starting to get a lot more of him. Especially when it's recorded by him. And now you're getting you're getting, like, you're going into a different world. Like Candyland, when they go into Candyland, that's the second half of the script. True. So, like, it's a very it's like their stakes are getting up there. So it makes sense for the tone, bit of a shift. For the music to follow that. Okay, Benji. You've really swung me on this one. Yeah. Oh, I know this movie, like the back of my head. What are other fun facts that you think people should know when watching this movie? Because I think Tarantino listens to music when he's on his sets. Different types of music on these sets. I saw videos of him playing, like, Shaking a Baby Now on, like, the set and stuff like that. All the actors having fun. Jonah Hill. Oh my God. Was in this movie. Dude, I looked away from my phone and I heard his voice and I was like, no fucking way. He tried so hard to get into this movie. He wanted to work with Quentin Tarantino. Oh, of course. So funny. So yeah, he was in this movie for a little bit, even though I did a double take. I don't know exactly like how he got in, but, like, I know that he wanted to work with Quentin Tarantino. He said it's a great... Jonah Hill doesn't fuck around. He doesn't fuck around, so when he's working on a movie, you know, he tries. Yeah, you think he fucks around, because that's how good of an actor he is. This was the equivalent of Channing Tatum being this is the end. I love Channing Tatum. Like, it's such a crazy moment. It's giving, like, Bullet Train when he was in that movie. Yeah. Oh my God, I love when really famous actors have a sense of humor like that. It's so funny. It takes it to the next fucking level. Yeah. Who else was in this movie? Let me look this shit up. There was a lot of people. I think I don't know. There were a lot of people who made, like, cameos in this movie. Oh, Quentin Tarantino likes to use the same actors. Zoe Bell, who's been in a lot of Quentin Tarantino's movies. She was in. Have you seen The Hateful Eight?
No.
Okay, have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes.
You know when he throws Bruce Lee into that blue car?
Yeah.
That's her car, and she's like,
Oh.
she's Randy's wife.
Okay,
she's like,
okay,
Randy,
okay.
why the fuck would you let him do that? And,
I really liked Once Upon a Time.
that's her, and she's the one with the red bandana on.
Yeah.
The lady in the
She's
shed.
just
She doesn't have any
cameo.
spoken lines, but yeah, it's
That's
a little
so fun.
cameo that kills. And also Obi from The Hateful Eight, who we haven't seen that, but he's also in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Parks is in this movie. He was also in Kill Bill 1 and 2, or at least 2.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Also, most of his favorites, Leonardo DiCaprio, Samuel L. Jackson, who's in almost every Quentin Tarantino movie.
Mm-hmm. Samuel L. Jackson was so good in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't want to. It's not like he was totally different, but he was different enough that for a second I didn't even realize that it was him.
He's in Better Call Saul.
Ted Neely.
Yeah, he's in Better Call Saul. He's the
James Russo.
Who else is in there?
Idris Elba? Where?
Russ Tamblyn. Russ Tamblin's in
Girl,
Twin Peaks.
where? Tomorrow.
He might have.
Idris Elba? When was Idris Elba in this movie?
He might have made a cameo. Remember when
shit.
they're entering Mississippi and the slaves are being marched
Yeah.
through the streets? I don't know if that was him,
Idris
but
Elba.
I know some people made cameos during that scene.
No shit.
I don't know when he was in that movie.
Jamie Foxx recalls advising Idris Elba to decline lead role in Django Unchained. Interesting.
Interesting.
So was he in this movie?
He was in.
I swear sometimes
Idris
Google
Elba
just...
was in. No, I think he might have been wrong.
Elba too British for Django Unchained.
Honestly, I don't know. I didn't see him.
I think he is too British for Django Unchained. I don't think he was in this fucking movie.
But no, Russ Tamblyn was in Twin Peaks. There's a lot of different people who I knew I'd seen him somewhere before. He's the guy who says, "Is that someone on a horse?" In that first part.
Oh.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he's from Twin Peaks. He's that crazy guy he's the psychologist from Twin Peaks.
I like how nobody ever got over that.
I knew I recognized him. I knew it.
Okay.
I just realized it. It just clicked.
I love when that happens.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know everything about this movie?
No, I know quite a bit about this movie. My favorite part though,
drop the fun facts.
Is when that prostitute's looking out the window at him when he's riding the horse and she's like smiling. She's like it's just like she enjoys the chaos of people having their world disrupted.
Yeah.
I like that scene. I like that shot. It's just, and I love the casual comedy that is in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Like
it
even
wouldn't
when
have been fun. You have to keep it
light.
Have to.
You can't make it all about trauma.
Especially because then again, like we were saying, then that's when you can really pick apart okay, this is
the historical accuracies.
Yeah, exactly.
You had to keep it light, and you have to keep it not very serious. I love that scene.
And he makes me laugh. It's pretty fun.
And I think Christoph Waltz he
won
an Oscar for this, right? I'm 99% sure he did. I know he won an Oscar for. I'm pretty sure he's won 2 Oscars for both Quentin Tarantino.
Let's research.
He's an amazing actor. I don't know why he isn't in more. I know he's going to be in something this year. I know he was in James Bond as the villain. And I like actors. I like directors who take villains and put them in. Yeah, he did win an Oscar.
He won Best Supporting Actor for Django Unchained and Inglourious Bastards. Yeah. Because he's just that
good.
Dude.
He can speak 6 languages.
Yeah, he's Austrian and German actually. Yeah. So.
The guy's insane. I mean, it's just. I'm so glad Quentin Tarantino found him and I mean, I know he was in stuff before that.
But I'm
so glad Quentin Tarantino used him in his movies. It's so good.
He was in The French Dispatch. I love finding out about of course not finding out about him, but putting a name to the face and then you realize, oh shit, he's in this and this, and that's my favorite thing ever.
Also in The Green Hornet. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Don't see that.
Green Hornet.
Yeah, but no, that movie was this movie uses him, I feel in a very great way. He is just he's so great, and the fact that he's German is so central to the story, and I like that when characters' backgrounds actually have to do something with the story.
I know, right? Because otherwise it's why are you here?
Yeah, why are you here?
But it's well, there's still a little bit of that. It's good to keep the mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, but yeah, I thought it was so fun how all the little details came together.
Can I open this present now, though? Can I unleash my tidal wave of knowledge?
What's your tidal wave of knowledge?
So this movie is, I don't know for sure whether he intended to do this or not, but I mean, you have to I'm sure he intended to do this because of just how central is the story of the movie. But this movie really deconstructs slavery in a way that is like I haven't really seen a lot of other movies that are of this kind. Like they don't do it in a way like that's very they do it in a way that just shows like the human beings for what they really are, and it's very human. So there's a big thing about European culture in this movie. You'll notice Monsieur Candy. He doesn't.
But he doesn't speak.
He doesn't speak French.
Yeah, he said I'll be embarrassed.
He loves violin work. He loves music from German directors. And composers. He loves Danton. He loves
his outfits.
He loves his outfits. They're all.
His
He's
house.
a very European styled man. But he has none of the refine and none of the values that Europeans actually share. He didn't even know Alexander Dumas was black.
Exactly.
So,
oh my god, that was like the best part of the movie.
That's when it clicked for me. Was when I saw that the first time.
Okay.
Was that there's a reason why he doesn't speak French.
Dude,
there's a reason why he likes all that stuff. It's because he aspires to be on this higher European standing.
And his fucking bigotry.
But his bigotry and all that.
He'll never get there.
He doesn't get there because he doesn't realize what
his sister too.
Oh yeah, his sister. Why'd
they do that?
There was some shit going on with his sister. They did not do that by accident.
She's portrayed as even the clothes that they wear are very European.
Yeah, they're very European. But she also portrayed kind of as his wife, which is kind of a weird thing.
Yeah, hey South. Hey, Mississippi.
But the whole point is that they're comparing. These people try to compare themselves to the European society.
Who they see as the top of the elite.
Jamie Lee Fox, Django, and Schultz and Kerry Washington's character. They are all actually, the movie itself, the world compares them to European society, compares them to a higher standard, and the fact that, like, he tries to, Leonardo DiCaprio tries to, like, say that Django's 1 in 10,000.
Exactly, I was about to bring that up.
He is, like, trying to compare him to some higher standard, when it's funny that these characters are actually, like, the Siegfried, Brunhilde, Kane. It's very like the movie is saying like these people are the refined people. These are the intelligent ones.
These are the real people.
And these people who are trying to be that are putting them down. So that's what I love about that. Yeah. Is that it empowers these characters in a way that other movies don't. Like these characters are our main characters. These ones are the intelligent ones, and they have skills and are oppressed by these people who are trying to imitate that.
Exactly.
And in the same way, Get Out kind of does that.
Totally.
In a much
putting on a
way.
show, very much focused on ideas of performativity in like the literal sense of the term, not like how we would think of it.
This movie also uses alcohol for symbolism a lot. I don't know if you noticed.
I noticed, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Alcohol is used as a sort of reward.
Yeah,
and also as a sign of maturity. So he gave a beer to Freddy, I think his name was, as a reward for winning that fight.
And they call them boy, which is obviously racially
it's racially charged, but it's also putting them down.
Exactly.
It's putting them like a child.
Now you can come up to my level for a second.
Now you can have a beer because you've done something that pleases me.
Now you're a man,
And when Django has his first sip of beer, he realizes he likes it. Schultz is trying to put him on a level with him. Yeah. Now, notice DiCaprio doesn't have a beer with Freddy. He sends him off with a beer. Kane sits down with Django and has a beer with him like a man to man. So,
and then at dinner and such, wine.
So you're being treated like an adult at the table when you have beer or when you have alcohol.
Also, his fancy cocktail in the fucking coconut.
Yeah, I found that hilarious.
Why'd they do that?
That was so funny.
Benji.
That was so funny.
God.
Yeah, it's a very subtle symbolism, but it kind of gives you a subconscious, like you're aware subconsciously of the psychological like power that's between these people and how they exert that power over people through the little things. It's not through just the fact that they own them. It's also through the control they put in their bodies and stuff like that. And so when they give them beer, it's a big thing. It's an important thing. So it's just the little things. Oh, it's
no, it is the little things.
It's great.
Yeah, and what tied it all together for me is that he got to ride off into the sunset and have his cliche white person moment, because black characters don't get that usually. So,
we were talking earlier about how this movie is about Django. It's not about Schultz.
Oh, exactly. Because that's where he would have fucked this movie up completely.
Django learned something from Schultz, is wherein a lot of movies that at least I've talked about in my inclusivity and diversity classes, where a white person comes into the buddy area, the buddy trope. They learn something from the people.
Oh, you're so right.
But in this case, he learned something from Schultz, and he learned something from his experiences, and then he gets to ride off into the sunset. He gets to be the character who lives.
Yeah, and have his future and potential of his own.
And Quentin Tarantino does this in a lot of his movies. He doesn't make that. A one-off thing here. His Samuel L. Jackson has said that his black characters in every movie that he does are always the smartest ones who are in most control of the situation. Yeah,
I mean, his character was really interesting.
I love Steven. Steven is such an interesting character because
I think we go back to that conversation they were having about why doesn't his ancestors, why didn't they kill Leonardo DiCaprio's ancestors and stuff? And then at the end of the movie, Django shoots Steven or whatever his name is.
Well, in that case, I think it's because, remember what he said about the head of the house is that the only one lower than him is a black slaver.
Yeah.
It's because that they are kind of like they're having a sense of power over everyone else. Notice how Steven walked with the cane?
Yeah.
And then in the end, he throws it to the side and walks up to Django, standing up tall. And he looks like Samuel L. Jackson for the first time.
Yeah.
It's because he doesn't need a cane.
Yeah.
He's using
it because he's creating a character to
keep himself safe.
I get that.
In the same way, and I know you haven't watched The Hateful Eight, but in The Hateful Eight, spoiler alert, Samuel L. Jackson has a Lincoln letter. That and basically Samuel L. Jackson's character is like Django 50 years like 10 years after this movie. Basically, he's a black bounty hunter, and he has a Lincoln letter, and that gets him on a carriage with Kurt Russell's character, the Hangman, who is also a bounty hunter. And at the end of the movie, near the end, he realizes the letter's fake, and he's like, this letter has a sense of disarming white folk, and that's why he carries that. So in the same way. Him having a cane makes him look weak and makes people like Calvin comfortable around him. But then
also he's not afraid to speak his mind.
He's not afraid to speak his mind.
Which is why
he's in power in that area as much as he can be. And you see him again with the alcohol when he says meet him in the library. When he comes in, what is he sipping? He's sipping brandy.
I saw that. I was like, damn, okay, he stirred himself. I was surprised. And it's also, Calvin.
And he's smarter than Calvin. He's way smarter than Calvin. He's in control. And Calvin's the one with the power. Calvin's a child. But Calvin's a child. So
really fucking interesting.
He's a very interesting character that
He was, I think, Loki the most interesting. And also, I was like, I didn't see Django shooting him.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's not going to kill all the other slaves. And I was like, damn.
He also has more disdain for Django than anyone else. The white people don't even hate Django that much.
Exactly.
Like, the ones who want to kill him don't even hate him as much as Steven does.
Calvin kind of likes him.
Calvin thinks he's interesting.
Yeah, well, it's just funny because it's like, he reminded me of how Steven, he talks to Calvin the way Steven talks to Calvin, and nobody else talks to him like that. So obviously it's like, Calvin wants someone that he thinks is quote unquote on his level, when obviously they're above him. To have that kind of rapport with.
Calvin kind of treats him like, you know how some monkeys can do sign language? Not to compare anyone to that, but that's how Calvin views him, because he views him as something less than human.
Well, because ironically, that's a very racially charged term, and he does see him like that.
Yeah, he does.
Obviously,
he's
fucking racist.
Yeah, he is, because he says that they're different. He says they're different.
He says they're different species.
Which
oh my god, it's focused on the anatomy.
Yeah. But
okay.
Calvin basically views him as like some special.
Oh my god.
Like some special specimen.
It's disgusting.
He doesn't really view him as a person who's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So
he views him as like
does...
based on what he's seen, he's an interesting specimen.
So like, does Steven think he's like taking his place?
Steven basically sees him as a threat because he sees someone who has been in the position
who can play the white people like he does.
Who can do that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that why he kills him?
Well, no, he kills him.
Yeah.
He kills him because Steven. That's why Steven wants him to get killed because he feels like he's being duped. He feels like someone's taking advantage of his territory.
Yeah, like he's worked a lot to get to the position that he's in, and he's
now
like, this dude's ruining
this guy on a horse.
But probably because he's secretly like, oh, maybe that could have been me.
In a way, but I feel like he also Candyland is his home.
Yeah, like you see his rapport with all the other people there, the women.
He controls like that area.
Like that, especially because Calvin's not always there.
That's where he has power.
Yeah.
So, and especially when very good point. Calvin is not always there, and he orders white people around.
So like
they do what he says.
He's like, you fucking ruined it for me, dude.
So when Django comes, there's someone. There's so many levels of character. I love it. There's someone who can there's someone who can finally challenge him and like kind of see through what he's doing. So that's why when he just throws his cane down, he's like, "What's up?" Like that is such a great moment.
I was still shocked he killed him though. I thought he was gonna give him his fucking chance.
No,
do you think he deserved it?
He was worse than some of the white guys because he knows what it's like to be a slave, and yet he still participates in that cycle of oppression.
Well, okay, yeah, but also, was he just doing it to survive? That's what. See, I think I lean more towards I'm assuming he's doing that to survive.
In a way, possibly, but at some point when you have that kind of power, like you don't need to be so cruel. He wants Kerry Washington to be in the hot box. Like he wants them to face punishment.
Exactly.
So he's being that's not oh, I'm just trying to survive. That's him being
you're right.
retributional. He wants people to know their place.
It's super complex.
Yeah, he's a complex character, and that's why he's a good character. But this movie is so good. Unfortunately,
we've been just chatting away over here.
Well, this is better than the last podcast. We didn't even talk for 15 minutes about the last one.
Guys, we're getting back on track, okay? We know there's been a slump. It's okay.
We're going to do movies that we like now.
Well, okay, see, but it's more interesting when there's stuff that you don't like about it, in my opinion. I feel like our best ones were ones that one of us freaking loved it. And I don't know.
I feel like whenever one of us doesn't like it, sometimes we kind of back off. I don't know.
Really? I think those are our best episodes.
But or like when
Since when do you back off? Since when do either of us back off?
You're right. I think I'm more talking about other ones, but there's certain podcasts where I feel like none of us really are passionate enough about it.
Exactly. You gotta have something that makes you feel something. Yeah. If it's just good, honestly, I think I'd rather talk about a movie that's god awful than a movie that's just pretty good.
And here's the thing. Quentin Tarantino said he was going to make one more movie.
Yeah.
So
Jessica Chastain, mother, is in the house.
I'm waiting for that.
She does not come to play.
She does not. Well,
I am very intrigued.
She does come to play.
Oh, she came to... Yeah.
She came to fight.
She's playing around. It's child's play for her.
Well, no, it's just... It's
I am very excited to see.
I'm excited to see what happens next.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's going to be a hell of a ride.
I think so, too. It's probably going to be 14 hours long.
I don't know how long.
It has to be 3+ hours.
I would watch it if it was 3+ hours.
I will.
I watched it.
But god fucking damn.
It needs to be good, though. But I think it's going to be good.
Dude,
because what he said is that he's like, I'd rather make 10 amazing movies than 60 mediocre movies.
Duh. Wouldn't anybody, though?
No. Some people like the paychecks.
Well, I guess that's true.
He works on these movies for years at a time.
Yeah.
Some people make a movie a year. Some people do that. He works on movies for years at a time to make them what he wants, and he just defends them vigorously. Mm-hmm. He needs the opening. He needs the theatrics. He needs the film.
Especially now that he's built up his reputation and his style, there's so much pressure.
Yeah.
But we will see, Quentin. No more fucking feet, please. We can't defend that.
That's not even just him. That's his.
I didn't notice that many feet in this movie though.
Peter Gould, who did some scenes for Breaking Bad, also has the same. And he's worked with
them. Dude, you'll realize it's a lot of men. And you could, guys, if you're listening, we can always tell. It's not fucking subtle. Why do they do that?
I've only met one person in my life who was into that.
In real life?
Yeah, in real life. Only met one person.
Oh.
Some kid I used to go to high school with.
Bruh. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot more than you would think.
Sometimes just keep it
keep it to yourself,
inside.
guys. Do it on your own time. Don't put it on my screen. Don't put it in my movie. But guys, I didn't know so many feet, so it's a plus.
I know. In this movie, there's like that one
Thank
scene.
fucking God.
There's like that one scene where Kerry Washington is like laying in the bed and they like linger on her feet for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's the only time I noticed
This might be Quentin Tarantino's least feety movie.
Oh, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, though, was bad.
Oh, that was bad.
There was so much.
That movie was really fun.
So much underage feet in that movie, though.
It was fucked. Oh, God, it was so bad. Why the underage? Oh, my God. Maybe we'll do Once Upon a Time in Hollywood on the podcast, too. I think we should.
Yeah, no. Brad, are you 18?
Oh, my God.
No, Brad, no.
Brad.
Cliff, no.
Thank God he wasn't in this movie.
Brad Pitt?
Yeah, he would not have fit.
No, he looks like he looks like he wouldn't say the N-word.
Girl, he's literally an abuser. He's definitely.
So on that note,
guys, thank you for a very interesting discussion on Django Unchained. You're so welcome, Benji.
I always enjoy hearing your opinions.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I wish I could say the same.
Did that sound real, or we're gonna have to do it again?
Yo, take 2, take 5, take 5.
I always enjoy hearing your opinions.
Oh my God,
about
Benji.
Things. Truly.
I wish I could say the same.
So on that note, Normalest Chicago Residents. This was Benji and
Claire.
You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram.
Normalest Chicago Residents, because we're just more normal than the rest of them, as you can tell. Really
we're more normal than the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
Rest of the list.
Excuse me?
Rest of the list.
For sure.
Bye.
See you next week, guys.